Today we're talking about the explosive divorce war between Todd Tucker and Kandi Burruss, and the shocking role Porsha Williams played in turning their private family into a public battlefield watched by millions. For 9 long years, the world believed one simple story, that the 2 children Todd and Kandi were raising were legally adopted, their shared responsibility, their shared love, their shared future. That was the truth everyone accepted. That was the truth nobody questioned. But then, everything changed. Because in a recent courtroom hearing, Porsha Williams stood up and dropped a claim so shocking, so unexpected, it didn't just confuse the court, it ignited a chain reaction nobody could control. She claimed those children were never truly Todd and Kandi's to begin with. She claimed they were hers. Yes, hers. At first, it sounded unbelievable. Baseless. Desperate, even. The kind of accusation people make when emotions run high and reputations are on the line. But what happened next turned disbelief into chaos. Because the moment those words left Porsha's mouth, something inside Kandi Burruss broke. The calm, composed image she had maintained for years cracked instantly. Witnesses say her expression changed. Her body tensed. And before anyone could react, she charged. Right there. In court. So what truth pushed Kandi to that breaking point? What secret was so dangerous it triggered that reaction? And what really happened behind closed doors during those 9 years? Because this isn't just a divorce story anymore. This is an exposure. For nearly a decade, Todd Tucker and Kandi Burruss built an image that looked untouchable. On camera, they were the power couple. Successful. Calculated. United. They showed the world a carefully managed life, luxury homes, smiling family photos, and 2 children they claimed to have adopted together, presenting themselves as devoted parents who had chosen love over biology. Fans praised them. Media defended them. And anyone who questioned their story was quickly dismissed as jealous, bitter, or desperate for attention. But behind that polished image, cracks had already started forming. Because Todd Tucker was never just a husband. He was a strategist. A man known in industry circles for controlling narratives and staying 3 steps ahead of controversy. Insiders had whispered for years that Todd's personal life didn't always match his public persona. Late-night phone calls. Private meetings that never appeared on schedules. Financial transfers that raised eyebrows but never reached headlines. Kandi, meanwhile, maintained her calm exterior, defending Todd whenever rumors surfaced, standing beside him with the kind of loyalty that made fans believe their bond was unbreakable. And then there was Porsha Williams. Porsha wasn't just a random outsider. She was someone who had history. Someone who knew things. Someone who, according to sources close to the situation, had been connected to Todd long before the public ever realized it. Their interactions were subtle at first. Occasional appearances in the same circles. Shared glances caught accidentally on camera. Moments that didn't mean much until they meant everything. At first, nobody thought she was a threat. Until she spoke. The courthouse that morning felt heavier than usual. Reporters lined the halls, sensing something bigger than a routine divorce hearing. Todd sat at the defense table, posture straight, face unreadable. Kandi sat beside her legal team, calm but distant, her fingers tightly interlocked. She hadn't spoken much since the proceedings began. She didn't need to. Her silence carried authority. And then Porsha walked in. She didn't rush. She didn't hesitate. She walked with the kind of confidence that only comes from knowing you're about to change everything. Observers noticed it immediately. Todd's jaw tightened the moment he saw her. Kandi's eyes followed her every step, cold, alert, calculating. Nobody knew what was coming, until the judge asked a simple question. Miss Williams, do you have anything to add to these proceedings? That was the moment everything shifted. Porsha took a breath, looked directly at Todd, then at Kandi, and said the words nobody was prepared to hear. They're not her children. The courtroom froze. At first, nobody reacted. The sentence hung in the air, heavy and impossible. Even the judge hesitated, unsure if he'd heard correctly. Porsha continued, her voice steady. They were never hers. Those children belong to me. Gasps echoed across the room. Reporters immediately began typing, fingers racing to capture every word. Todd's composure cracked for just a fraction of a second. His hand clenched into a fist before he forced himself to relax. Kandi didn't move, but her face changed. The calm was gone. In its place was something else. Something raw. Something dangerous. Almost instantly, phones across the courtroom began vibrating. News alerts exploded online. At Court Insider Live tweeted, "Breaking, Porsha Williams claims adopted children in Todd and Kandi case are biologically hers." Courtroom stunned. At Reality Watch posted, "This just turned from divorce hearing to full-blown scandal." Nobody saw this coming. But Porsha wasn't finished. She reached into her bag and pulled out documents. Held them firmly. "This isn't speculation," she said. "This is the truth." Todd's lawyer immediately stood up, objecting, calling the claims outrageous, baseless, irrelevant. But the damage was already done, because everyone in that room saw the one thing Todd and Kandi couldn't hide: fear. Kandi's breathing had changed, her chest rising and falling faster now. Her eyes locked on Porsha with an intensity that made even seasoned reporters uncomfortable. Whatever secret Porsha was exposing, Kandi hadn't expected it. And she wasn't ready. What happened next would turn suspicion into chaos and prove that some truths were never meant to stay buried. The courtroom hadn't even settled from Porsha's bombshell when the next twist hit, and it hit harder than anyone could have imagined. Just as the judge called for a brief recess to process the adopted kid's revelation, whispers of another secret began circulating among the reporters. Porsha wasn't just exposing a family lie. She had evidence that could rewrite the entire narrative of Todd and Kandi's private lives. According to sources inside the courthouse, Porsha produced a folder labeled receipts, documents, texts, and even private recordings that allegedly traced financial transactions, undisclosed communications, and meetings Todd had kept secret for nearly a decade. The allegation? That Todd had not only lied about the children's custody, but had actively attempted to cover the truth from Kandi and the public, while simultaneously maintaining an image of the perfect husband. The court erupted into whispers. Todd's face, once stoic, turned pale. Kandi sat frozen, her mind racing. Even the judge leaned forward, adjusting glasses, signaling that this wasn't a simple domestic dispute anymore. As news of Porsha's latest revelations leaked, social media blew up faster than a wildfire. Within minutes, hashtags were trending. At Reality Tea Queen, Porsha just pulled receipts that could ruin Todd forever. This is bigger than reality TV drama. Hashtag Todd exposed, hashtag Porsha had receipts. At Courtroom Chaos Live, Todd's empire of lies is crumbling. First the kids, now financial secrets. Can he survive this? Hashtag Courtroom Bombshell. Fans immediately split into factions. User 3, Kandi stayed calm, but I can't even imagine the betrayal she feels. Respect her composure. Celebrities weighed in too, some subtle, others blunt. An A-list influencer tweeted, "If you think you can lie to a woman like Kandi and hide the truth, think again." Porsha just played 4D chess. Hashtag receipts don't lie. Meanwhile, reality stars uploaded reaction videos dissecting every second of the courtroom meltdown, adding dramatic music over Todd's panicked face and Kandi's barely controlled expression. Industry insiders weren't silent either. A prominent TV producer reportedly commented off the record, "We can't risk Todd on camera after this." Sponsors are scared. Networks are scared. This is a PR nightmare the likes of which we haven't seen in years. Another source mentioned that a reality show Todd was scheduled to appear on quietly suspended production, and collaborations with influencers were being reconsidered. Then came the second shocking twist. Leaked messages from Todd surfaced, showing him admitting to a close friend that he had always feared Porsha would reveal the truth. One message read, "If she ever talks, everything falls apart. The kids, Kandi, the public. I lose it all." The courtroom murmurs turned into gasps as this confession circulated online, making it appear as though Todd had orchestrated a massive deception from the start. Public reactions were swift and brutal. At Fan of Kandi, Kandi stayed silent, but Porsha did what we all were too scared to say. Todd deserves this. Hashtag Justice for Kandi at Drama Alert HQ. Todd's lies are unraveling faster than we can refresh Twitter. This is peak chaos. Hashtag courtroom drama. Yet the real shocker was yet to come. Rumors began surfacing that the so-called adopted kids may have legal documentation tracing back to Porsha, suggesting that the custody story Todd and Kandi maintained for 9 years could be completely fabricated. Social media theorists and gossip bloggers speculated endlessly. Had Todd intentionally misled Kandi to protect his own image? Were there other players involved? Even mainstream news outlets jumped in. Headlines screamed, "Courtroom bombshell, Todd Tucker's lies exposed, Porsha Williams reveals truth about alleged adopted kids, and Kandi Burruss faces heartbreaking betrayal in public divorce meltdown." Clips went viral within hours. Memes, reaction videos, and speculation threads dominated Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube feeds worldwide. The fallout created a schism. Some fans defended Todd, claiming Porsha was opportunistic and dramatic. Others sided with Porsha, hailing her as a fearless truth-teller exposing a decade-long deception. The tension reached boiling point when fake leaked emails, allegedly between Todd and his lawyers, showed discussions about delaying the revelation of Porsha's evidence, implying intentional manipulation of the courts and public perception. And just when it seemed the scandal had peaked, another cliffhanger dropped. Anonymous sources hinted that there could be more evidence waiting to surface. Financial audits, secret recordings, even alleged communications between Todd and other influential figures tied to hidden business dealings. Social media exploded with speculation. Who else is involved? How deep does Todd's deception go? Could this reshape Kandi's public image and Porsha's rise in reality TV power? By the end of the day, the courtroom drama had transcended legal proceedings. It had become a full-blown cultural moment. Hashtags like hashtag Todd exposed, hashtag Porsha had receipts, and hashtag courtroom bombshell trended globally. Fans dissected every detail, and the public was left with one undeniable truth. This story was far from over. Because if you think you've seen the last twist, think again. According to insiders, the next revelation could be even bigger, more shocking, and possibly more dangerous for Todd, for Kandi, and for anyone who thought this was just another celebrity divorce. The world watched. The internet exploded. And the next chapter? Nobody knew. But everyone knew it was coming. Just when everyone thought the courtroom saga had reached its peak, the final twist hit like a thunderbolt, one that nobody saw coming. Sources inside the courthouse whispered about a sealed envelope that Porsha Williams dramatically slid across the judge's bench, her eyes locked on Todd Tucker like a predator circling its prey. Inside, a series of legal documents, financial statements, and private correspondence that allegedly tied Todd to offshore accounts, unreported assets, and secret agreements involving the very children he had claimed were adopted. The courtroom gasped. Reporters scrambled to capture every second on camera. Todd's composure evaporated. His hands trembled. Kandi, meanwhile, sat upright, icy calm, letting the evidence speak for itself, her silence sharper than any words could have been. But the bombshell didn't stop there. Porsha revealed a hidden email chain suggesting that Todd had tried to manipulate not just Kandi, but also close family members and associates, pressuring them to testify in his favor or remain silent about the children's true parentage. And the most shocking detail? One message hinted that there was a third party, someone influential in the entertainment industry, who had been quietly benefiting from the deception all along. Social media erupted instantly. Hashtags exploded. At Reality Tea Queen, Todd's secrets go deeper than we ever imagined. Who's the mystery third party? Hashtag Todd exposed, hashtag courtroom bombshell. At Drama Feed Daily, Todd Tucker lied, schemed, and now Porsha just dropped the final receipts. The internet can't even. Hashtag Porsha wins. At Fan of Kandi, Kandi's composure is unmatched. Let the receipts speak louder than words. Hashtag Justice for Kandi. Fans and celebrities alike began speculating wildly. Was there a larger conspiracy? Would this revelation trigger criminal investigations? Could more children or hidden deals come to light? Reality TV influencers uploaded reaction videos, dissecting every second of the courtroom chaos, fueling theories and debates. Insiders claimed federal investigators were now quietly reviewing the newly revealed documents. Sponsors and media outlets were reportedly reconsidering partnerships with Todd. The domino effect was in full swing, and the world was watching, waiting, guessing what the next revelation could be. And just as the court adjourned, a mysterious anonymous tip appeared online, claiming there were even more hidden recordings, videos, voicemails, and text messages that could further unravel Todd Tucker's empire and public persona. Nobody knew exactly what they contained, but speculation alone sent social media into a frenzy. The final statement from Porsha summed it up perfectly. "This is only the beginning. The truth doesn't end here." With that, she left the courtroom, leaving Todd and Kandi in stunned silence, reporters shouting questions, and the internet in a collective frenzy. The drama was far from over. New twists, secret players, and potentially explosive revelations loomed just around the corner. One thing was certain: Todd Tucker's carefully constructed world had been shattered, and Porsha Williams had firmly planted herself as the woman who would stop at nothing to reveal the truth. And viewers everywhere? They were left on the edge of their seats, desperate for the next chapter. Because in this war of loyalty, lies, and viral justice, nobody knew what shocking bombshell would drop next, but one thing was clear: it was coming, and it was going to be bigger than anything anyone could imagine. Alright fam, now it's your turn to weigh in, because this courtroom chaos, shocking revelations, and secret bombshells? This isn't just entertainment. This is a masterclass in betrayal, deception, and viral drama. Who do you side with here? Porsha Williams, the woman who went all detective mode and exposed secrets that shook the court? Kandi Burruss, the queen who stayed composed while the world watched her marriage crumble? Or Todd Tucker, the man whose lies, arrogance, and hidden schemes are now unraveling for everyone to see? Drop your hot takes in the comments, call out the lies, praise the bravery, roast the villain, or share your own theories about the mystery third party and what could be revealed next. Go deep. Be bold. Be loud. Make it trend. And while you're at it, smash that like button if you're living for this chaos. Hit subscribe to join the ride, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next shocking courtroom bombshell. Because trust me, this story isn't over, and the next revelation? It's going to blow your mind. Comment now, share, and let's get this debate trending worldwide.